Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about the 3 UK stocks that I just sold. I also sold a US stock, which was Lordstown Motors. I sold 25% of the position that I had on Lordstown. It's been on a very good run this week. That's one way to put it, a very, very good run. The stock's up like 60-70% this week, and I've been putting a lot of money in there to average into the company. So I thought, well, this is probably a good time to take some of that money that I used to average in, because the position size was getting a little bit too heavy on that side for that company. So I did take the profit out of that one. So that was a US company that I did sell, which I probably won't be making a video on, but there was another 3 UK companies that I sold for a very nice profit as well. Now, if you do want to keep up to date when I'm buying stocks and when I'm selling stocks, there's a link to my Patrons group. On the Patrons group, there is posts when I'm buying and selling stocks, as well as some other things like a Discord group and some special content that only goes on Patreon. And another really good positive, Amazon delivered my new pens, so you can see the whiteboard looks a little bit better than what it did a few days ago. But we'll take a look at the 3 UK stocks that I did sell a little bit of a position in this week. So these 3 companies I'm about to show you, I sold 10% of the position that I have, so I'm still holding a very big chunk of these companies. Like I say, I only trimmed the position by 10% just to take some profit off the table, and I've still got a lot of shares really that will be running the long haul in these sort of companies. But the main reason why I took a lot of profit off the table is that I think the UK stocks have just gone up a little bit too much now, that it makes sense to take some of that risk off the table, because the reward is kind of shrinking and the risk is kind of getting a lot bigger. My kind of thoughts is that, well, if there's a UK second lockdown that comes in and it is longer in, January, February, then probably the stock market's going to move a little bit of negativity off that, because we're only expecting a month at the moment. And I think that's what potentially could happen, especially when we look at something like Scotland. They're kind of the leaders really, and they seem to be edging that way, and England tend to follow like a couple of weeks later. So if something like that happened, then maybe the stock market will move a little bit negative. If they're shut for longer in the Christmas period, maybe that will affect certain companies as well. So with that kind of risk coming in, I thought, and we've had such a good run because of all the vaccine news. Like there's like a new vaccine article every day about a vaccine that now is 94%, then 96%, now 98%, 100%, 102%. So there's more and more vaccine news coming out, which keeps pumping the UK stocks up. And a few weeks ago I said the UK stocks I am still willing to hold, but after the even bigger run we're being on now, I'm like, right, the reward's starting to shrink. And like I say, some of the stocks that I'm sold a little bit of a position in, I still believe in them long term. I just believe that we're probably a little bit too overextended now, and that's why I'm taking it off the table. But like I say, I still believe in these 3 companies because I still hold a massive position in them. So number 1 is Jet2, which I sold for about a 95% profit. So that's nearly a 100% club that I'm going to say it's in. Probably by the time I sell like the whole position, which probably won't be for like another 2 years yet, because I do still really like the company. It's Jet2, and I sold it for a 95% gain. The next one was 90% and the bottom one was 30%. So it gives you the percentages that I made on each of these positions. And yeah, I took a 95% gain on Jet2, which is pretty damn good. And yeah, by the time this video actually goes up, they will have reported earnings as well. So maybe that's moved the company in a positive way or negative way, I don't know. But that was one of the reasons that I did kind of sell as well, is just that if earnings were bad, like it kind of an EasyJet situation, I think that went down 5%. And then obviously that it will look a brilliant move right now, but if it's gone up, I look like a bit of an idiot. So, but yeah, that was kind of one reason, we're just taking the risk off before earnings. As well as that, I just believe they've been on a very good run, probably a bit too much of a good run. And like I say, just taking 10% off the table seems like a good decision. When you think about, they're probably not going to have any income still for probably like another 6 months. When I was up that much so quickly, I thought I'll take some profit off, and if it still goes up from here, I've still got 90% of my position running long term. But if it does dip, maybe I can put that 10% in at cheaper prices, but I know that I probably will never get it back to the average that I currently do have on it, which I've also got to be careful of. So I was happy just to take 10% off the table, and like I say, a 95% gain on a company like this, which will probably be one of the ones that would be affected by an extended lockdown, seems pretty good. So I'm happy with that. Number 2 is the company that I made 90% on, which is a position or a company called National Express. The ticker symbol is NEX, so it always saves me a bit of writing to write NEX instead of National Express. But yeah, 90% gain on this one, a company that I've only really been in for like, I think 2 or 3 months, which is crazy to think that I've got a 90% return in that sort of time. Obviously, it wasn't planned to go up that much, but it did happen. And like I say, I still think there's massive upside in this sort of company. It's just done really well over the vaccine news. As well as the vaccine news, it's been winning a couple of contracts as well, which I think has also helped people get really excited and come into this one a bit early on. But I still think this company still has a potential to go up another 100%, but once again, it's one of those companies that if a lockdown situation came in, it would be really affected by it, and it's just been on such a good run. So I'm happy just to sell 10% of my stake that I did have in National Express, and yeah, I think once again, pretty happy with them sort of gains. So I'll move on to number 3. And number 3 on 30% gains was Boohoo. So I sold 10% of my position in Boohoo, and this is pretty much the little bit that I topped up with the auditors stepping down, and we had another dip. My average on Boohoo is about 240-ish. So what happened is we were up quite a bit, and I thought that's it, Boohoo's on a good run. And then obviously we had the auditor situation come into Boohoo, the stock dropped back down again. And in that time, I took that time to buy a little bit more of a bigger position in Boohoo. And I said that some of this position that I buy, I will be selling at when it gets to 300. And the stock managed to get past 300 yesterday. So because of that happening, I sold 10% of my position in Boohoo. And as well as that, I think that this is a little bit more of a shorter term hold for me, just because it's a bit more of a fast fashion, and I don't know where the industry will be in 5 years. But I still think it has a lot more upside. Like I see Boohoo going to, you know, 500 or £5 at some point in the next kind of 2 years. So I do believe there's a lot of upside, and that's why a lot of the positions run in long hold. But when this stock did dip down, once again, I said this company is easy money, and you buy Boohoo under like £2.50, £2.40, even it went even lower than that. You know, if you buy in them sort of ranges, it's easy money. And there you go, I put quite a bit of money back into Boohoo when it dips back below £2.50, and I made 30% within kind of 1 month, 2 months. So yeah, another excellent gain. And my Boohoo exit plan was always to sell out every time it went up 50p. So next time it gets to £3.50, it will be the next time I probably sell 10% of my position in Boohoo. But like I say, I think 30% gains for like 1 month holding is pretty good. And like I say, I'm still a fan of the company in the long term, and that's why I'm holding so many more shares to look like the long term hold in like 2 to 5 years. But I also wanted to take some profit because I wanted to just make that easy money, which I did do, and make that 30%. So I thought I'd update you with these 3 positions that I did sell, as well as that US company as well, to take some profit in Lordstown Motors. So I hope you found the video useful anyway, and let me know what gains you've been doing. Have you been taking any? Have you been buying any more stocks? Let me know, and smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you next one.